So hello. Good evening, folks. I don't know if you just tuning in on that last. I don't know what happened there, but it's Saturday night. It is Saturday night, and I am Pop Brown, and welcome to Father Daughter Talk. Okay, tonight we're gonna continue from where we were on last week. Just want to welcome everyone. Yeah, as you come into the room, please share. Because again, the information that we share here is not just for the daughters that are checking in, but it's also for the for the sons and for other people and for your guy and for that fella of yours. You know what I mean? So yeah, please, as you come into the room, please share. It's an exciting weekend here in Chicago. It's cold here in Chicago, but it's also a weekend, so we got a lot of celebrities in Chicago. A lot of folks joining us tonight, joining us this weekend, and so we just praying that the city remains on somewhat good behavior, and represent. So please, as you come into the room, please share. Listen, happy belated Valentine's Day to all the daughters and mothers and sisters out there. Um, Hope you had a great time. Hope you were treated well and recognized for who you are. Recognize for who you are. Again, come in the room, like and share. Hello. Please, as you come into the room, please share. Please share. It is Saturday night. It is Father Daughter Talk. Here we go. All right. Good evening, everybody. Again, again, as you come into the room. Hey, MzBee, how you doing, sweetie? By the way, happy belated Valentine's Day. I don't know if I talked to you yesterday, so happy belated Father Valentine's Day. Christine, how you doing? Good evening. Good evening. Again, as you come into the room, please share. Please share. It is father daughter time. It's time for to talk, and we're going to talk about some things tonight. Again, the kind of a continuation of last week, but again, on last week I said we was going to talk about why men do what they do. Because in order for us to really understand what's going on with the men folk, with the brothers, we got to, in order for us to really get past what they're doing, we got to understand why they do it. So that's what we're going to try to do tonight. Kind of tap into a little bit of why they do, why we do what we do. Why we do it. We know we do it, but why? Why? Don't you want to know why? So we're going to talk a little bit about why. Again, this Pop Brown, I don't have all the answers, but you know what? I can give you what's been given to me. And I do that, and I keep that, and I try to give away what's been given to me. And in fact, I was told one time that's the only way I can keep what I have. Just give it away. And so that's what we do. That's what we do. So good evening again. As you come into the room, please share. Please share. Hi, Christine. Good evening. Good evening to you. Again, for those of you who was out yesterday and we get a chance to talk to you yesterday, happy belated Valentine's Day. So hopefully hopefully you were treated like the queen that you are, and you were recognized for everything that you do, you know. And so good. Christine said, I'm blessed and highly favored. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So we thank you. And please, as you guys come into the room, please share. Please share. My wife is here. My lovely wife is joining us tonight. Hey, Sweetie, how you doing? She's joining us tonight, and so I know she's blessed and highly favored. So we just thank you right now. We thank you right now for being here. So let's just dive in, y'all. Y'all want to do that? Let's just dive in. Let's just talk about this thing for a second. Let's talk about what's happening with my brothers. You remember on last week I told you that what we do what we do, and I said I was going to tell you this because and tell you this unapologetically. I say this because of the fact that I am a man, so I know what we do. I know what we do because I've done it. I've played those games, and that's what we do. We play games. Men play games. We play games. We play games. Yeah, we play the games that you allow us to play. We play games that you allow us to play. That's how you doing. Welcome. We play games that you allow us to play. And so, what we doing tonight is just talking about some of that stuff. And then I'm gonna try to enlighten you a little bit about about these big, strong, husky brothers that you see. Because remember I told you on last week, I mentioned on last week that some men, all these 25, 30, 40, 50-year-old men, you know what I mean, they look grown. You know what I mean? Their voices sound grown. Share when you come in the room. Their voices sound like they grown. They look like grown men. They sound like grown men, but emotionally, they're still right there in them teen years. They're still right there with that tragedy or whatever it is that happened that stunt their emotional growth. They're still right there. They're still there. They're still there. They're still there at that point in life, where something happened. Something happened that changed how they saw things. See, one of my greatest inspirations is T.D. Jakes, and I'm telling you, if you have not read this book, buy it. See, get the video. It's called He Emotions. He Emotions. Now I know y'all familiar with Woman Doll Loose and all that other good stuff, but get the book, get this video. Listen, give it to your man for Father's Day. It's called He Emotions because he's addressing the issues of men. He's addressing, some of the things. Actually, read it for yourself. He's addressing some of those things. He's telling you why men are the way they are, and he's dead on, man. He is right on point, and a lot of men won't admit it, but he's right on point. He is right there. He is right there. Good evening, good evening, good evening. And again, as you come into the room, please like and share. Hey, that's my baby. My daughter's watching now. Hey, Tisa, how you doing, sweetie? Love you. So listen, welcome to the room. When you come to the room, please share. Again, T.D. Jakes is he's talking about, what men do. He's talking about why we play the games that we play. And we play games. And I tell you, Pop Brown can tell you this, as I told you guys before, how's a kid say it? It takes one to know one. I can say these things because these are the things that I did. These are the things that I did. I did damage to my family. I did damage to my children. I did this kind of stuff. And in spite of me, they great people. As I said last week, in spite of my behaviors, my family turned out to be great people. Great people. Only because they're blessed. They were blessed of God. They were blessed of God, and they looked at the example that I was given and found and knew that there had to be something better. And they followed a different path. And I thank God for that. I thank God for that. So but today I'm a different, today I'm not that guy. But at the same time, those experiences that I had, I can share now. Not that they're great, but I can share. I can tell you a little bit something about what it does. To a family, what it does to relationships, what it does, how toxic that becomes. I can tell you about that today because I'm living it. I can tell you about that today because it affected them then, but it affects me now. It is affecting everybody now. You know, Man, we play those kind of games, and I'm sharing this with you because of the fact that I don't want you to fall into the same trap, that first of all the women that knew me did, and most women do. They fall into traps. They fall into traps. They fall into these traps. You know what I mean? And what's happening? What's happening? And I'm not able to see y'all. I'm trying to stop what's going on with my glasses. What's happening is um, they fall into these traps, with these men, and they get used, and they find themselves, the end of the relationship where they're being abused, where they're being taken advantage of, where they're being emotionally damaged. Hello, Pamela, how you doing? Where they're being emotionally damaged, and so that's what we want to deal with. That's what we want to deal. We want to talk about that. I don't want to prepare you, to deal with these guys. Not only that, but I want to prepare you to recognize them when he comes. To recognize them. Last week we talked about standards. What's your standard? What's your standard? What do you consider? What's your standard? Okay, what God? What does he have to have? For you to say, okay, this is the dude that I'm interested in. Does he have to have a nice car? Does he have to have a nice job? Does he have to have all these different things? Does he have to have all these different things? Does he need to have a does? I mean, what do you call a guy that's meeting those standards? What is it for you? What does it look like for you? Well, for us, for men, man, we look for Miss, now. We look for Miss right now. We look for, we walk in the club, and we walk in anywhere. It doesn't have to be a club, grocery store, gas station. It doesn't have to be anywhere. We walk in and we see, we see. We see who we can get. If we catch your eye, we feel like we got your attention. We sizing you up. First of all, we walk in, we sized up the room because men play games. So right now, as soon as we walk in the room, game on. Game on. Now we're competing against the other men. We're competing. Who can choose who can get to the finest woman in the room? Who can get to this woman, or who she gonna choose? It's a competition, and men do that. Men do that. He may not want you. He may not even, you know what I'm saying? But it's a competition because we in this because this is what to do. It's by nature. This is what we do. We compete. We complete. We play games. We play games, and you get caught up in it, daughter. You get caught up in it. You get caught up in it. So you gotta watch out. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Hey Shauna, hey Jocelyn, how you guys doing tonight? Welcome. You gotta be careful about when you're in these situations, when you're meeting these people. How did you get there? What prompted that? What prompted you to get there? Here's the thing about men, and listen. I can tell you about this. Like I said, it takes one to know one. Here's some things about men that you really need to understand. Men really, 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 again, as muscular and all that other good stuff, the deep voices and all that. Men are they're not all, but most men, I would tell you, emotionally, they stopped growing years ago. Years ago. See, listen, most men, especially if they were raised by single moms, especially if they were raised by single moms. They had that nurturing thing from mom. They had mom protected them, mom taught them, my mom did all this kind of things, maybe up to the age of, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years old, and somewhere in there. But then, at some point, mom let you go outside and explore. And so you end up, maybe going to the park, and hanging out with, meeting fellas at the park, and all those things that mom taught me. All those things mom taught her son didn't work out there in the park. Cause see, cause these fellas out here, they were different. They were different than what mom said it would be. They had a different language than what mom said it would be. And so when they got out there, it was like, whoa. You know what I mean? Mom didn't prepare me for this. She didn't prepare me to deal with other brothers. She didn't prepare me to deal with other men. To deal with other men. So now he's torn. He's torn between these two worlds. He got the world that mom created for him, and then the world as it is, with these other men. So he's learning how to be a man, but he's trying to do it by mom rules. Ain't gonna work. So here's what happens with a man. Again, we compete. We compete. I don't care on what level we compete. Even even with our jobs. Watch this. And Jake's taught me this as well. Men compete even on our job. See, it's work. It ain't we work, but it ain't about the money. It ain't about the money. It really isn't. The money is just how we keep score. You get that? It's how we keep score. We work and we work. We do all these different things, but the money is how we keep score. And then we bring the paycheck home to you, and that's how we validate ourselves. That's how we validate ourselves. And then we go try to do more, and we try to do more, but do more. But then when somebody changes the rules, we're lost. When somebody changes the rules, we don't know, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. We know the rules. These are our rules. This is how we compete. But when someone changes the rules, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. We're lost. So men have to have a way of competing. They have to have rules. They have to have something to guide them. They have to have it. Because we're competitive by nature. We are competitive by nature. Jocelyn just taught me something. Listen, Jocelyn, we learn on a daily basis. This is how we do it. And I can tell you about men because I'm a man. And like I said, it takes one to know one. So I'm gonna tell you that this is what we do. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this is what we do. But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about men. Most men, when you change the rules on them, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to handle it. When you come to a man who's been in your house, and I'm gonna share some things about that too. But when you come to a man that's been with you and things have been going wrong, and all of a sudden he's strange, he feel like, well, he don't hello Shauna, he don't talk to me like he used to, and our relationship ain't what it used to be. Suddenly he changed, and he just I don't know what happened. Something happened. Somebody changed the rules on this, brother. Something happened. It may not have been you. It could have been something at work. It could have been something. Something happens. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. With a lot of men, he will have hurt. He'll have things going on. He'll have there's somebody to change the rules. Something is happening within him emotionally, and he can't tell you about it because he don't know how to verbalize it. He don't know how to talk about that, and he'll never tell you that this is going on. Yeah, I heard an example earlier. I was listening to it, and we was talking about. Does I have experience about watching it. I've had a man tell me he loves me, but it looks like he has an idea of love. Yeah, you know what? That's your idea of love and his idea of love. Because emotionally he's still here. You may be looking at a 35, 50-year-old, but you know what? Emotionally you're dealing with a 16, 17-year-old. That's just the way it is. Listen, here's an example. Woman, woman, yeah, there was a woman, and Jake just talked about this. There was a woman who, I think it was Valentine's Day. It may have been a Valentine's Day situation, whatever. Husband come, guy had a, husband, boyfriend, whoever it was, comes and brings her a beautiful, beautiful bouquet of roses. Beautiful bouquet of roses. She's smiling, the life is good. 2 weeks later, it was his wife. 2 weeks later, he asked for a divorce. And see, now her mind is like, how could he possibly bring me such a beautiful gift and then 2 weeks later ask for a divorce? Well, this is how. You see, he did that. He brought the roses because it's part of the rules. That the rules say you're supposed to do that. The rules say you're supposed to honor on Valentine's Day and you're supposed to honor it. That's the rule. The rules say so. He's gonna play by the rules. But the bottom line is it wasn't the period between the roses and the asking for divorce that something happened to cause. No. He was already gone. He wanted that divorce with that asking for the divorce that came long before the roses. That came long before the roses. That came, but see, you didn't know it. You missed it because he can tell you. He can tell you. He can tell you. That's the thing is, it doesn't catch up, Roslyn. I mean, Jocelyn say, when does it catch up? You know what? It really doesn't. It doesn't until he's willing to face it. Now, it won't catch up, but he can. You know what? He can face it. He can realize that. Listen, this is where I am. This is where I am. He's got to be willing. He's got to be willing, really, really, to put the work in. Now he can get there, but he's got to be willing to put the work in. And I'm going to tell you, it's not an easy thing to do. It's not easy for a man to admit, hey, I got issues. It's not easy for a man to admit, that emotionally, I say I'm all that, but I'm not. It's not easy for a man to admit all that. It's not. And so it's going to be in that place. It's going to be in that place where he's going to need prayer. He's going to need support. He's going to need some things. He's going to need a real relationship with a real God who can do some things. Who can make some changes in his life. He's going to need those kind of things. But see, without that, he's like a functional alcoholic. You know what I mean? He's like a very functional alcoholic. I know some alcoholics. I'll tell you what, Monday through Friday, they are the smartest, most functional, efficient people in their lives that you can ever meet. Saturday and Sunday, fall down drunks, but very functional drunks. Men are like that. A lot of men are like that. And here's a cause for that. See, you're probably dealing with a man. If you've ever had this experience, you're probably dealing with a man who's got the same issues that you have. Who, like I told you in the very beginning, daddy issues are real. Well, here's the thing: you're probably dealing with a man who's suffering and going through and dealing with some of the same issues that you are. He's twisted. He's lost, and he's all of that because, well, daddy's gone. Daddy left. Why he leave me? I need my da da da. Who's gonna be there to teach me how to ride a bike? Who's gonna be there for my baseball games? Who's gonna show me this? Who's gonna teach me that? Mama can show you something, but you need daddy. I want daddy. I want daddy. Now, here's the twist. Even though daddy left, he didn't know why. But he heard mama on the phone. He overheard mama on the phone talking to a girlfriend, and he overheard mama on the phone saying all kind of stuff about daddy. And now he's really going through, because first of all, I miss daddy. And now here's mama on the phone talking bad about daddy. So maybe it was mama's fault that daddy ain't here. What do you think? What do you think? See, here's the thing. We got to be careful, when it comes to our children and how we speak, and how we talk about, their other half, their parent, the other parental unit, because of the fact that they form opinions, not just about that person, but about you too. You see, they start asking questions. They start asking, maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was her. Maybe it was him. You know, maybe it was him. Maybe he did. But then again, maybe, just maybe. You know, one of the things, that happens, with a child, and I can tell you from experience, one of the things that happens with a child who's missing their parent, whether it be dad or mom, because like I said, dads ain't the only one to go missing, moms do too. There's a lot of single dads out here raising daughters and sons because mom just gave up. Mom just decided I don't want no more. Mom just threw in the towel. She just threw in the towel and left. Could you imagine? Mom leaving? It's who would do such a thing? What woman would do that? Lots of women do it. Lots. But see, here's the thing. That's why I said we all deal with issues, of the same sort, men and women, but men, men do it. And I'm trying to prepare you for these guys because of the fact Christine said it's better than not have a dad that walks away from his family because he didn't love. That's why he got. Not necessarily, Christine. You know what? Not necessarily. Dads, men love. He didn't walk away maybe because he didn't love his family. He probably, a lot of men. I'm not going to say I can't say why, but I can tell you this: some men walk away because they don't know how to deal with that. It's not that the love wasn't there; they just didn't know how to deal with it. They just didn't know how to be. Because remember, I said, men have rules, and when those rules change, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to handle it. You ever know seen a situation with a man when he's doing well? I mean, he's on top of the world. He climbs the mountain, he gets up to the mountaintop and all that. Figure I ain't nothing up there and all that kind of stuff. But he's on top of it. He's on top of it. And all of a sudden, the world snatches a rug away from under him. He loses his job. That income that was there. Maybe that no fault of his own. Maybe the company closed, decided to move to China. You know what I'm saying? You know what happened? You know what happens to that man? Now he has to figure out. Somebody changed the rules. Somebody changed the rules of the game. So now he has to figure out, okay, how can I continue to do for my family, to what I've been doing for my family, and how can I continue to live the life that I've been living, and how can I continue to do the things that I was doing with my income gone, with my points gone, because I lost my points now because I don't have the income, and that's how we keep score. So how can I continue to do this? So now he's trying to figure that out. He may never figure it out. It may take 10 years, or he may never figure it out. But now he goes into this cave. He goes into that place where we go emotionally when things go bad for us. There's a place, a little secret place that men go. Where men go emotionally inside. That's where he goes into that place and try to figure it out. But he goes in there. He figures out. He tries to do this on his own. He tried to do this on his own. He get in there on his own, and he tried to figure it out. And can I tell you, when he in that cave on his own, trying to figure out on his own, it'll never work. It'll never work because he's trying to do it on his own with the limited amount of emotions and everything he's taking to that cave with him. See, because that's what we do. We take everything that we need into that cave with us. We take it in there with us. So we're in that cave trying to figure out how to fix this problem, how to fix this situation, and it's not going anywhere. And I'll tell you why it's not going anywhere. Let's go back to scripture for a minute. When God created Eve from the rib of Adam, when he created Eve, he said before he did it, he created Eve because he said, you know what? It's not good for man to be alone. It's not good for man to be alone. So he created Eve to be a helpmeet to him. So when men get by themselves in that place trying to figure out things because he's a man and he doesn't want to look like the weaker to you. He doesn't want to appear to be weak to his mate or weak to his children or weak to his, you know what I mean? So he gets into that place and he tries to figure this out on alone. But remember, I just said it's not good for man to be alone because when he's alone, he's in a place where he can't function. When he's alone, he's in a place where he can't pull things together. His mind is racing and thoughts are racing and he can't make 1 and 1 equal 2 and things are going this way and every which way, and then all of a sudden he's in that world of confusion and he can't pull things out. So the worst thing he can do is he can get inside that emotional cave of his and he can stay in there and nobody can reach him, and I'm protecting myself in here, and everything on the outside is just going away. It's just going away. because he don't know how to reach out. He don't know how to do that because he's never been taught how to do that. He's never been taught how to do that. Let me tell you why he's never been taught how to do that. The world has never taught the man how to do that because the world don't want to teach him how to do that. But I'm saying the world. I'm talking about now. I'm gonna get spiritual for a minute, so don't get offended. Now I'm gonna go a little deep on you here. Okay, listen. Men are an endangered species. Not just black men. Men, particularly black men, but men are an endangered species. Okay. And you said, why? Glad you asked. I'll tell you why. See, if you search all through the to search all through the scriptures, you'll find places, where it was always the male that was attacked. It was always the male that was killed. Pharaoh killed all the male babies that was 2 years younger because he didn't want them to grow up to be kings and all this kind of stuff. So Pharaoh did it. There was other leaders that did it. They went after the male. They went after the seed. So here's the thing. You see, the world, the enemy don't want your man, and the enemy didn't want me. He doesn't want any man to succeed. So, here's what he does. If he can kill the man, if he can kill your seed, if he can take your seed and put him in a cave and just destroy him emotionally and destroy him all these other different ways, that he gets a twofer. He gets a 2 for 1. See, because now he's killed your seed and he's got you all heartbroken and tore up, and now you in a place where you just so he gets a 2 for 1. If he can kill your seed. So it's important, that men, know how to deal with stuff emotionally. And that's why there's so many tools out here now for us. Listen, I had to get hold of. I had to get hold to these tools. I'm still grasping that, trying to get hold of these tools because, being able to face ourselves is hard. Being able to look in the mirror and say to ourselves, you ain't right. You need help. It's hard for a man. It's hard for a man. And here's the thing: when we don't reach out to get help, reach out to get help, then we end up hurting everything and everyone around us, including you. So when the signs start, when he starts, feel like, hey, Daddy, how you doing? Hey, Lori, listen, when it seems like he's drifting away, he ain't drifting. He's already drifted. What you saying is how you see that matrix thing and you see the shot. That's what you're looking at. He already gone. He's already gone. He's already gone. Sometimes you can pray and help direct him, because I said it's not good for a man to be alone. He don't know how to figure it out. He may receive it from you, but you got to do it with a good heart. You can't screaming at that man, calling that man all kind of shiftless, low down, lazy, and you ain't did that enough. You might as well listen. You might as well open the door, pack his stuff, help him pack. Because it's done. At that point, you're done. You've lost him. He's already in that cave, feeling all kind of way what he's feeling, and now you degrade the man even more. It's done. So if this is somebody that you actually care about, this is somebody who's got, I hate to use that word potential because a lot of y'all go out there and grab, he got potential. No, he don't. No, he don't. He could be this, he could be that. Yeah, but what is he now? So don't go out there. If that's part of your standard, that potential part, you need to get rid of that. You need to get rid of that. You don't grab a man because he has potential. No. We don't do potential. We don't do potential. Okay, we ain't doing that. Okay, Lily, what's going on? Hey, Lily, you're one of my other daughters. Hey, Lily, listen. Here's the thing, and I want to get back into this again. Men have this place that we go. We have this place that we go when we can't figure things out. We bury it inside. We have our own cave on the inside, and in that cave we take everything. We take all our stuff, all our toys. we take them in there. So when we want to shut down, we can go in that cave and just shut down. And everything we need is in that cave with us. Yeah, everything is in there. Everything is in there. Okay. One of the ways, and there's not a lot, but one of the ways that as a woman, that you can help your man in this situation. Yeah, bad integrity. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, That's that integrity with it. See, we're talking about two different things now. When Lori, that you got a guy with bad integrity, come on now. When this guy's character, his character. I'm not talking about, somebody who just ain't. I'm talking about somebody, who's there, who's been, and emotionally, something happened where the rules changed, a loss of a job or a loss of a family member that was really, really close, or something, loss of a child, something happened that shut him down emotionally. That's what I'm talking about. Something happened that made him go inside, and you can't get him back out. That's the guy I'm talking about now. The guy that's looking you in the face every time he open his mouth, 17 lies fly out. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Why are you still having these conversations with him anyway? Why is he still there to talk about anything? Why is he still there? Why is he still there with you? Why is he still there around your kid? Why is he still there? Okay? Send him packing. Send him packing. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your life. Stop wasting your life on guys who's got potential. Really? Really? Don't do that. Listen, you are a queen. You are deserving of the best. Of the best. You're deserving of the best. Don't settle. Why? Why? What's the hurry? What's the hurry? Me and my guys growing up, that's what good friends growing up. We used to say all the time, take your time and pack your stuff. That way you don't forget nothing. See, because when you get in a hurry, it's back. You get when you got, I left my toothbrush. Oh, I left my blue socks. Oh, I left my black socks. Take your time and pack. That way you don't forget nothing. What's your hurry? Never been in a hurry to get married. What's your hurry? What's your hurry? A lot of folks, they want a wedding. They don't want a marriage. Go to Vegas to get one of them. They want a wedding. They don't want a marriage. Marriage ain't the wedding. All a marriage is an outward demonstration of an inward commitment. That's all a wedding is. An outward demonstration of an inward commitment. Kind of like being baptized. An outward demonstration of an inward commitment. That ain't, the wedding is for everybody else. You already know you committed to him and he's committed to you. Y'all already forged that bond. The wedding is for everybody else, to prove it to them, to show them that this is it. That's all it is. An outward demonstration of a inward commitment. Forget about the wedding. Have a marriage. A marriage. Okay? My brothers, though, listen, this is how you can help the brothers. I'm talking to my daughters now. The only way you can help somebody who's gone emotionally into the cave. Hey, Regina, how you doing? The only way you can help one of his brothers that's going into the emotional cave within himself, first of all, 20 questions they're gonna do. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why you ain't talking? Why you ain't saying? If you're a praying woman, pray for brother. Pray for the brother. Pray for, and then after you pray, trust that the person or the entity, and I'm saying entity because me personally, I love Jesus. I do. I love Jesus. I do. And so when I'm praying to the Father, I'm doing it, and under the power of a crucified Christ, I'm doing it from a place, that I know I'm gonna get some results. So I love this. So here's the thing. So when I'm praying, when I pray, I know that He hears me. I know that He hears me. Can I say it again? I know that He hears me. So I believe that when I pray, everything that I pray for, like the Bible says, whatsoever you pray, if you believe it, you shall have it. Whatever you say, you should have it. So when I pray it, I believe I'm going to get it. So I trust God and I leave it alone. I trust God. I get out of His way. I don't worry about how He going to do it, when He going to do it. I just know He is. So that's what I do. So what I'm saying to you is, if you want to help this brother, pray for him. pray. I'm talking about what my wife says. She said how the Bible says that the prayer of the fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Listen, that's how you do it. That's how you help. And just be patient. And then listen. Be willing to listen. When the brother starts opening up, be willing to listen. Be willing to listen. Now I'm talking about the brothers that are worth listening to. Now, I'm gonna tell you, everybody ain't worth listening to. Hey, Bridget, everybody ain't worth listening to. All these brothers ain't worth listening to. Because, as I said before, we play games. We play games. Don't let him give you and don't confuse him being in an emotional cave, to an emotional game. Okay, because we good at this now. We good at this, and you gotta use discernment. God gives us a gift of discernment. You got to discern whether or not what's true or what isn't. And if you don't know, just pray and ask God to reveal it to you, and He will. He'll reveal it to you. He'll let you know what's real and what's not real. You know what I mean? Real quick. It won't take forever. He'll let you know right away. See, so Papa tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you how to get it done. Lori said the men I meet want to try to to smother you and to control. Yeah, listen. Listen. The word of God says this, that every man, it tells us this. It tells, husbands should love their wives like Christ loved the church. Christ has smothered the church. Christ wasn't controlling the church. He looking for he ain't looking for somebody to walk hand in hand with. He ain't looking for a helpmeet. He looking for somebody that can do something for him, Lori. He looking for somebody that's he looking for an employee. He looking for Hazel. Control, tell you what to do, tell you this. Listen. And a lot of brothers get that. I don't even God family, even brothers that read the Bible on a daily basis, they get into that. Woman should submit herself to a man. But see, they don't go a little further and read what a man should submit himself to a woman too. Now that whole submit part ain't got nothing to do with what jump. When I say jump, you say how high? Really? You got me, bro. You got me messed up, bro. You got me messed up. So if I'm submitting to you and you submitting to me, and when you say jump, I'm told say how high. What you gonna do when I say jump? You know what I mean? You feel me now? So all that submitting stuff, you know what I mean? It's submitting. It's submitting to one another in loving in a loving way. All that controlling stuff. Come on now. And it goes a little further. It talks about submitting to your own husband, not somebody else's. Yeah, y'all. Not somebody else's. Brothers the same way. Not somebody else. Not submitting to somebody else's wife. Your own wife. Okay. There's a lot. But see, when you get into those situations where there's controlling and smothering, something's wrong with that. Something's terribly wrong with that. Why would I want to be with a person who don't trust me? Why would you want to be with a person, who every 5 minutes you got to check in? Where you at? What? Especially if you're not giving this person any reason to think that. Why would you be with a person like that? Okay? Why would you do that? And then on that, if you're the one that's calling, where you at, what you do, why would you be with a person like that? Why would you be with a person you can't trust? That ain't it, y'all. That ain't it. Listen, life will give you. Laurie said that he's a barn is closed for me. There you go. I looked behind the 224. I walked away like it was a bad Western movie. Glory to God. And you got to do it. Listen. Stop hanging around in those situations that are detrimental to you. See, because the longer you stay in a situation, don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating divorce and all this good stuff. I'm not. It's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you right now, that is not what I'm doing. But I am saying to you I am saying this to you. Don't be in situations that are detrimental to you. Don't be in situations where you've been physically, mentally, or even emotionally abused. Don't do that. Why? Why? You hang around those situations like that, you become emotionally bankrupt, and not only that, but how much self-respect are you losing? Now we got all these self-esteem issues because we're walking down life every day believing what he says about me, believing what he says about me. Okay, believing what he says, believing what some insecure brother who ain't who you know what I mean, what some insecure insignificant somebody says about you. You walking around believing that? Really, really? Prue will say, "Hello, I can have patience with someone like that, but it has to change." Yeah, it has to change. And having patience, and that's good because things, you know what? People change. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an advocate for separation. I'm not an advocate for divorce. I'm not. I'm not. But at the same time, I'm not one who says stay in a situation that's going. Listen, let me tell you something. I know folk who's been in situations with who stayed in relationships too long to the point where I'm telling you that they would look at each other. One would look at the other, and just in their minds, I could kill you 15 different ways right now. You know what I mean? Just imagine, you walk in the room and see you laying there sleeping, and like, I could trust you through. Ooh, I could do something to you right now. Why would you want to live? Why would you want to be in a relationship like that? Why would you want to be in a relationship like that? See, even with all this going on, again, we have to be careful, um, not just protecting our own emotions and all of that, but we have to be careful because we have onlookers. Okay, we're on stage. You're on stage. Okay, you got an audience. You got an audience. You're performing for an audience. You're performing for someone who's learning actually from you. Okay, your daughter's looking on. Your son is looking on. Your niece is looking on. Your nephew is looking on. You know what I mean? Somebody's watching what's going on in your life. You may never know it, but somebody's watching. And they're emulating you. They say what you say. They walk with like you walk. When you ain't looking, they'll put on your hat, or they'll put on something of yours and pretend that they're you. Little girls put on mama shoes and they walk around the house like they mama. You know what I mean? They emulating mama. What else are they emulating? What else? What else would they emulate? Are you teaching them it's okay? When he holler and scream and cuss you out and call you all kind of names for you to take it? Is it okay? That's the kind of submitting you're talking about? Mm-mm. No, sir. No, no, no. Never. 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 We don't submit like that. That's not submitting. Because especially when you got folks looking on, especially when you got your sons and daughters watching, their nieces and nephews, especially when they're emulating you, especially when they want to be like you because you're the favorite auntie, or you're their favorite this, or you're their favorite that. You know, your mama. But see, but it must be. Listen, it must be the right thing to do because mama did it. It must be okay because mama's allowing it, and mama's the smartest person I know. Because mama always knows best. Mama knows what's best for me. So if this is okay for mama, if this is okay, it's got to be okay for me. So if when they grow up and they watch how that mama went through some of that, and mama dealt with that, you know. Just says yes, I saw my poor performance, unfortunately, but they now see my corrective actions. That's cool, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You listen. Let me listen. I told you y'all from the beginning, y'all. I can say what I say, as like the kids say back in the day. It takes one to know one. Been there, done that. I printed the t-shirts. Okay, I printed the t-shirts. I am that guy. I am that guy. I'm telling you, if my kids would come on, if my family would come on this live and be honest with y'all, they would tell y'all that listen, Pop Brown drugged them. I drugged my family through so much. I'm telling you, I did. I did. I did. You know, and at the same time, I thought I was doing the right. Listen, you got a roof over your head. I thought I'm providing. I was doing this, you know. But what I was giving them was what they needed most. What they needed most was me. But I was listen. But I'm keeping score. You know, I was gaining points because you know the money was here. That was it. That was it, you know. So according to my scorecard, I was doing pretty good as a man. As a man, I was doing pretty good as a man. Okay, emotionally, I checked out. I checked out simply because I didn't know what a man was. I didn't know. I didn't have a real definition of what a man was. I didn't know. I thought this is what a man did because this is what I was. This is what I saw myself growing up. You know, my dad provided. He was a provider. I didn't. You know, we didn't sit down and have man to man conversations. Son, let me tell you about. We didn't have no birds and bees kind of conversation. We didn't none of that. We didn't do none of that. I'm not saying my dad was a bad man. I'm just saying this is not what we did. You know, we didn't do it because I promise you, his dad didn't do it with him. He didn't learn it that way. You know, a lot of stuff I learned from about being a man, I learned in the streets. I learned in the streets. I learned from other, I learned from other. I learned from TV. I learned from movies. I learned from movies. That stuff that wasn't real. You know what I mean? So that's how I learned how to do it. That's how I learned how to be a man. That's how I learned how to do it. See, and chances are that's how this guy that you dealing with. That's probably how you learned too. You know, very few of us are fortunate enough to have that man in our lives, and we can. That's why listen. Hats off to my sons. Hats off to my son-in-laws because these are real men. You know, I ain't just get me right. Am I bragging? Absolutely. Absolutely, I'm bragging. I am bragging. I'm absolutely, because listen, ain't a pot brown in a bunch. I'm telling you now. They listen. These guys, they take the time out to have a conversation with their children. They take the time out to do, to do, and nothing's more important. One of my sons, we had a conversation the other night. You know, his son, he had to have a conversation with his son about the situation that was going on. 2 hours late to work. Because his son was more important than that job. His son was more important. He said, I can get to work, but my son is more important right now. 2 hours late to work because he had to deal with that situation. He had to make sure his son understood the gravity of the situation. 2 hours late. Dude, I almost want to pay you for those 2 hours you missed at work. Because I love that. I love that. I love that. One of my son-in-laws, this guy, you know what I mean? I mean, he listen. And if you listen to Michael Myers, you my dude. I love Michael Myers, y'all. I love my son-in-law. This dude, I can't even begin to tell you how proud I am to know that the choice my daughter made. I can't be that for me as a God thing. Because God put him in her life at the right time. He knew exactly what she needed. And he gave it a total package. He gave it a total package. And he's proven himself. He's proven himself. He's proven himself. So let me tell you, who says sounds like my husband? So yeah, but they ain't gonna press. See, here's the thing. I was a product. I'm a product of a lot of different environments. I'm a product of the streets. I grew up, all that old gang bang, all that. I grew up in Chicago. Y'all grew up in the streets of Chicago. I did that. I did. And in every sense of the word. Every sense of the word. You know what I mean? So, I got all this in me. I had all this in me. But if it was not, if it were not for the mercies and grace of, if it were not, listen, I was that guy. I was that guy. That a lot of folks said who knew me, even family members as well, who knew me said that what, that boy ain't gonna live to see 18. That was me. I kid you not. Then when I made 18, they said, you know what, he ain't gonna live to see 21. And if he do, he gonna spend the rest of his life in jail. Listen, God said no. Not mind you, I didn't say I didn't go through some stuff. I didn't say I didn't go through some stuff, but you know what? God had a bigger plan for my life. He had a better plan for my life. And, and like I said, just like with Jonah and everybody else about my wife, and I we're talking about Jonah today, we're joking about Jonah, her and I, my brother-in-law. Here's the thing. God had to get Jonah's attention. So he said, when he was on, you remember the story, he's supposed to go to Nivea, and, he didn't want to go because he didn't like the folk, he was prejudiced and all this kind of stuff. He didn't want to go, you know what I mean? So instead of going, instead of getting on the good ship Lollipop, he got on the Titanic, and all that. So he went the other way, so then when the thing started going bad on that boat, and he said, I know what's happening, y'all. I know who did it, it's all about me. And so, just throw me overboard. You want to live, throw me overboard. So they did that. They threw him overboard, but at the same time, I jokingly say this, but God sent him an Uber in the way of a fish, and so now he's inside the belly of the fish, and so he's sitting there 3 days. He's sitting in that fish, and God's now got his attention. He's got his attention, so he's teaching him. He's telling him, listen, obedience. That's all he required of him was obedience. That's all he required of us is obedience. Obedience, obedience, obedience. His mercy and his grace will do the obedience. All we got to do is just be obedient, and that's what he did pretty much for me. And God knew he had to get my attention. So he put me in a place where he got my attention. He got my attention. But I'm grateful. Now this is gonna sound real crazy to some of y'all, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm grateful that he got my attention. I'm grateful, for the fact that, what, God, he could have put me in a grave. He could have put me in a hospital. He could have put me in an insane institute. He could have put me in a lot of places. He put me in prison, but he could have put me in a lot of different places. So I'm grateful that he did that, because when he put me there, his mercy and his grace and his favor followed me. Okay, and I was still able to listen. I was probably one of the freest inmates you ever seen. Anybody, it was. Trust me, when I say I was free, I was free. I had to wear the uniform, but I was free. I didn't get treated like any other inmate. I didn't. God's favor, but he had to get my attention. So he wanted my attention, and he got that. He got that. And so and a lot of times he'll do that to a lot of brothers. He'll put us in a position where he get up and teach. A lot of y'all call that jailhouse religion, but guess what? That's God's working. But here's the thing: when we get out of there, the enemy's right there. Just like going to church on Sunday morning. It's just like you going to church on Sunday morning. You go to church on Sunday morning, and you hear a greatest message, one of the greatest messages you ever heard in your life. And by the time you make it to the parking lot, the enemy has already stolen it. He's already stolen it. He's working on stealing it. He's working on distracting you so you forget what you just heard. You know what I mean? You walk out there and all of a sudden you got a flat tire. Man, now you got all this stuff coming out your mouth. Ain't nothing about what you just heard in church. I'm just saying. Or you get out there and you get in the car and you're trying to leave the parking lot, somebody cut you off. All of a sudden you revert back. Forget about what you just heard 10 minutes ago in the sanctuary. Same thing happens to brothers when they come out. You call it jail, we call it whatever you want, but sometimes they'll come out of there, and the minute they come out, what does the enemy do? And I told you that the enemy is not after you; he's after the seed. He's after your seed. He's out to kill the men. So what he does is, the minute the brother walk out that gate, the minute he gets free, suddenly brothers he ain't seen in a while. Hey man, what's up, man? What's up, man? You just get out. Here you go. They want to give him all the drink, they want to give him the drug, so all of a sudden, all that religions he had inside, he learned everything that God showed him, and all that inside, enemy just stole it, just like that. Because we want to be a part. We want to be a part of a team. Because we're competitive that way. We want to be a part of a team. We keep a score and all that kind of stuff, That's what men do. But sisters, I'm telling you, if you would hold the brothers up in prayer, you hold them brothers up in prayer. At the same time, I know I'm asking a lot. It's a tough thing to do, because you got to hold, your man up in prayer. Just if you care, hold him up in prayer, and at the same time protect yourself. You got to keep yourself covered. See, he's supposed to be your covering. He is supposed to be your covering, but if he can't function in the way God intended for him to function, then you got to listen. That's why he created you to be a helpmeet. Hello, that's why he created you to step up and help him out. That's why he did that. So sometimes and the disparity when you walk into most churches, you see most women and men. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Trust me, there's a reason for that. But let me give you some quick facts. Fact. And don't take my word for it. Look it up. fact. More when it comes to, like, say suicide, the most the most generated, the most, what I'm, it's not generation, is the sex, or the orientation, sexual orientation, the sex, between male and female, the gender, that's the word I'm searching for. The gender that commits the highest rate of suicide, men. Men. 80% of the suicides, particularly in this country, are committed by men. Men. You ever ask yourself why? Men. They get trapped in that emotional cave, can't get out. And they struggle. They struggle to get out. They can't get out. And it's like, the emotion, they scream and nobody can hear them. I heard the story. D.D. Jakes told the story, actually. Was a man who hated to be alone. He would travel a lot. He had the kind of a job that he would travel a lot. He would come home and he would always be alone. He couldn't get a dog, because the dog, there was nobody there to take care for the dog. So he couldn't buy a dog and all this kind of stuff, and didn't want a bird and all that, because there was actually nobody to care for him. So the only thing that he could actually get that didn't need care, that didn't have somebody to be there all the time, was fish. So what he did was he had a really nice tank, and he went out and bought some tropical fish. And he loved those fish. He would feed them before he left, and when he came, he'd make sure he had adequate food, and the temperatures and all that was just right, and tank from the heaters and all that. And so, but he loved the fish, great fish. So he would come home. Every time he'd come on, he said that he would talk with the fish, and he loved on the fish. And one day he came home, and the fish were there, and he fed the fish, and everything was great. So he went to sleep that night. Unbeknownst to him, that was while he was sleeping. There was something what happened electrically. Something happened to the point, that it shorted out the heater in the tank. And so rather than heat at this normal temperature, it escalated. It escalated. And the water got hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. So by the time this man woke in the morning, he got up and he went and he looked at the fish, and they were all dead. They had boiled to death overnight. And he felt the sorrow. But the interesting about what he felt, the thing that was interesting about this, one of the questions that he asked himself was this: I wonder when the temperature was going up and the water was getting hot, I wonder were they screaming for me? I wonder were they screaming for me? I wonder were they trying to scream for me, and I didn't hear them. I couldn't hear them. That's what happens with men that are trapped in that emotional cave. That's what happens with a lot of men who can't express what's really going on. That's what happens to a lot of brothers who strike out and say all manner of things and start treating people all kind of ways and acting all stupid because they don't know no other way to do it. The reason that they're acting, the reason that they're in this behavior, the reason that they're moving the way they're moving, because they're screaming and nobody hears them. The inside, they're screaming and nobody can hear them. Nobody hears. Nobody knows what's really going on. They're screaming on it. Help me. They're screaming and nobody can hear them. Nobody hears them. Nobody hears them. The only person that can hear them is God. It's God. It's the only one. I know this because I screamed. When I screamed, and I know he heard me because I'm here today talking to you. I screamed. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine having stuff going on and you screaming to the top and nobody can hear you? Nobody. That's how most men deal emotionally. That's how they feel emotionally. So they act out. They do all this other stupid stuff because they don't know what else to do. They don't know what else to do. They don't know what else to do. That's why you find, they up in the middle of the night, playing video games. They up in the middle of the night doing, they get their toys and they go in the cave and they play with their toys. And then when you ask them, what's going on? What's the matter with you? Nothing. What you out of your mind? Why you doing it? I don't know. And you know what? Can I tell you something? Sometimes I don't know is a legitimate answer. It is. Sometimes I don't know is a legitimate answer. Sometimes they don't know why they're doing what they're doing. They don't. But they don't know what else to do. Because they're trapped inside that emotional cave. They're trapped inside that emotional, and they're screaming. They're screaming. They're screaming out, and nobody can hear them. They're screaming. So what can you do to help? Just pray for these brothers. Pray that their screams are being heard. Pray, and just believe when you pray that it's done. Just believe when you pray that you receive what you say. Just believe it and watch God move. Because his mercy and his grace is everlasting. And you know what? The thing I love about my God, he's not a respecter of person. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, where you've been, what color you are. It don't matter. If short, tall, black, white, it don't matter. Big, fat, it don't matter. If you work hard or you don't. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. Listen, I love y'all. I do. Y'all know Pop Brown love y'all. I do. And I hope, my prayer is that I say something, and I pray this before I come on, and I prayed afterwards, that the Lord, I pray that I've said something here to help somebody. To help somebody. Listen, I love y'all with the love of Christ. I do. I do. But just remember when things are happening, with this guy, and I, don't get it twisted now. Pray for that discernment so you'll know whether you're dealing with somebody who's dealing with an emotional challenge, you're just dealing with an idiot. Because God has revealed the difference to you. Make sure you're dealing with a man and not one of these little boys out here. Again, we're talking about the difference between men and boys. Okay, we're gonna make that distinction real good. One of these Saturdays, the distinction between a real man and little boys. We're talking about real men right now. Real men, real men, real men who need the support of a real woman. A real woman. Okay. And I just pray. Thank you, Pamela. I just pray that, on a daily, on a weekly basis, we come in, that we're doing something, we're saying something that will help, that's going to help somebody. That's going to help everybody understand why, why we do what we do, in terms of men. This is why we do what we do. Because we don't, there's certain things that, even though, listen, this is a man and he's supposed to know it all, but no, he don't. No, he don't. He don't. He don't. So, but see, here's the thing. You got to know who you are. You got to know who you are, and you got to know that there's a God who knows you. There's a God who knows all about you. There's a God who's already determined what your future is. There's a God. There's a God. There's a God. I'm telling you. There's a God. Listen, if God can save and show mercy and grace to someone like me, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So y'all just saw, I told y'all where I was, but see, y'all don't know where I'm at right now. Y'all don't know where I'm at. Listen, I'm going to share with you what God is doing for me now. Told you where I was and where he brought me from. But, what he said, I'm going to tell you what he's doing for me now. Okay? Now, listen, when I do, hold on to your wig. You're going to, ain't no way, God. Yeah, he did. Yes, he is doing that right now in my life. In my life. So don't tell me what God can't do. Because I know he can. I'm watching him do it in me. So if he's doing it in me, I know he can do it in you. Listen, I love you with the love of Christ. I do. I do. I pray for you guys, and I pray for a blessed week for you. I pray that God blesses you and keep you. And I pray that his face shines upon you and give you peace this week. In Jesus' name. All right. Be good. I'll see you next Saturday. Peace.